All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, What's Up G, back with another banger, and it looks like we got an update in the Diddy Rico, where Cassie actually hit the stand, and there was a lot of things revealed in that ain't looking good for Cassie. If you want to keep up to date with this, I need y'all to disrespect that like button. Hold it down for your boy. Let's get into it. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Let's go, y'all.
Diddy was her label. Today was the last day Cassie was on the stand, and today was her worst day by far. She looked the worst than any other day during this trial. They caught her in so many lies. They caught her in inconsistencies. They really nailed Cassie to the cross today, bruh. One of the points the prosecution has been really hounding back on is Cassie was powerless. Cassie was 19 years old when she met Diddy. Diddy was her label owner. Diddy had her life in his palm of his hand. She couldn't just leave Diddy like that. And whenever she made an attempt to leave, Diddy would draw her back in, or Diddy would do something really violent to keep her there. Proving a lack of power, and Cassie was doing things under coercion or duress, will show that Diddy trafficked Cassie when they had the free calls with other men. The prosecution brought up an incident that Cassie included in her lawsuit against Diddy, the incident that took place in 2018, where Cassie and Diddy had moved on. Cassie was with Alex, the trainer that Diddy apparently got for her, and then her and Alex got close, started dating. Her and Diddy was broken up at the time, but she wanted closure from Diddy. So they agreed to meet up for dinner. Now, when they meet up for dinner, according to Cassie, they had a great dinner. They got closure. She thought they was leaving off on great terms, and he dropped her off at her home. Now, when he dropped her off, now this is where the prosecution starts to really play the power card, try to make it explain, or try to really break down how Diddy has so much power over Cassie that she couldn't just leave if she wanted to. And they will say this is an example of how Diddy was exercising, the power he had over her. So Cassie was still staying in the hotel or the condo or the apartment that Cassie was living in. So Diddy owned it. Diddy was still paying for it. So they would claim that because Diddy was paying for it, Diddy had a key. So when he dropped her off, Cassie went inside. Diddy put his key in the door, opened it up, and forced himself upon Cassie and violated her. Cassie said that in the lawsuit. The prosecution would also say that. However, in the cross-examination, this is where everything fell apart for Cassie, bruh. Because we got to really see Cassie is not this innocent person that we were thinking. Cassie is a mastermind. And from this situation, her putting that in her lawsuit and using that to sort of extract money from Diddy really showed not only did Cassie made a mistake in misrepresenting the facts, but Cassie just outright lied about what took place that night.
They really are spending a lot of time trying to discredit Cassie. There's a couple things here. So Cassie had testified during direct about an alleged that happened in 2018. She said it was in August. Well, they pulled up transcripts and her lawsuit, her 2023 lawsuit, where she said that it happened in September of 2018. And this was after Diddy returned from Burning Man. And during direct, she said that occurred in August again, and that night he was trying to convince her to go to Burning Man. Then they showed us text messages between Cassie and Diddy from August of 2018.
What do you think those messages say? There's a reason that Cassie gave the wrong month, by the way, because the messages of the actual date it took place, they got messages 2 days after the alleged incident happened. Now, in the lawsuit, Cassie stated that after Diddy forced himself on her that night, that was the last time they spoke and seen each other. She never seen him again. She cut it off completely, and she went about her way because Cassie was in a relationship with Alex at the time. That was her boyfriend. Well, 2 days after the incident, Cassie was texting Diddy trying to link again, trying to go to a friend's birthday party, man.
Where he says to her, or she texts him with a heart, and this is like a day or two after they went to that dinner, and then he allegedly her. And sorry, is it loud? I hope it's not. She texted him with a heart, and he said, "I'm sorry that I've fallen off." Again, paraphrasing, "I didn't turn you on last night or the other day." And she's responding, and they're having a conversation like all is well. And then they go to another friend's birthday party a few days later. So again, poking a lot of holes. And then there was something wild, a recording that we heard that I thought was super wild. And I didn't bring up what I'm about to tell you the other day because it wasn't, I don't know, I guess I didn't think it was important, but wow, now it's pretty crazy. And by the way, just going back to Cassie responding with, or corresponding with Diddy after the alleged, I don't want to get any hate for that. I'm sure that the state is going to put a doctor or a psychologist or psychiatrist on the stand testifying about trauma survivors and abuse and how they react. Just a side note.
I'm not trying to hear that.
I can hear the state doing that, but for her to put in her initial lawsuit that he raped her And she never spoke to him again. But then to find out when she's cross-examined that she hit him up 2 days later and they went to some parties the next day. But she said she never talked to him again, and then she got with Alex and was with Alex for the rest of her life. No, you still was with Diddy. You still was hitting up Diddy. You was still linking with him. But you put in your lawsuit to get the money. I mean, I'm sensitive to these situations, but if she lied, she lied. That's a blatant lie. All right, so ain't no way to remix that, y'all.
Hear it, bro. Call me insensitive. Cassie had a boyfriend at the time. Meeting up for closure at dinner without telling your boyfriend, first off, that's cheating. Y'all have intercourse that night. Now, she claims it was unwarranted. Like, he did it without her permission. He forced himself upon her. Let's just say that's true. Let's just go along with what Cassie is saying. You mean to tell me that, one, you don't tell your boyfriend nothing. Two, you hit him up 2 days after with a heart, looking to link up at a friend's birthday party? What? Does this make sense to you?
No.
Does this sound like he took it? Like, does it sound like he forced himself upon her? Does this sound... How she described it, it was violent. His eyes was black, and he just took it. That's how she described it. You don't experience that with somebody, bruh. Something that violent, something that traumatizing, and then text them 2 days later with a heart, wanting to link up. Come on, bro. Does that make sense to you? And you know what's even worse than all of that, bruh? Is what took place afterwards. This isn't even a cross-examination. This is a direct. The prosecutors is asking her this. And the reason why they're asking her this is because they know the defense got proof and they got evidence that they was involved after this quote-unquote grape happened. So the prosecutors asked, did you ever have intercourse with him again? Ventura says, yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house. So after this quote-unquote grape happened, while she was in a relationship with her now husband, then boyfriend at the time, Alex, while all of this was going on, after Diddy was the biggest monster she ever met and she wanted to get away from him, but he just had his grip on her, she voluntarily went back to Diddy, cheated on her boyfriend with Diddy, got her cheeks clapped, cheeks ran through by Diddy. And you know her excuse for this? Well, you probably are reading it. Can you explain why you did that after he raped you? Her excuse for this was, we have been together 10 years. Like, excuse me?
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, that's wild because that goes against what she just said. She said she never spoke to him again. Not only did you speak to him again, you hit him up wanting to link with him again, wanting to kick it with him again, and you're supposed to be with Alex. Then you went out and got your cheeks clapped again by him by your omission. You wanted to get your cheeks clapped. But in your lawsuit for $30 million, you said he raped you and you never spoke to him again because he's a horrible person. But you spoke to him again because you wanted to speak to him. You went to go pursue him. And in the text messages, he said, I'm sorry, I keep falling off. It sounds like he kind of doing his thing and you keep trying to get at him. And this is why you're with Alex. And it's being said, like, did you ever have with him again? Yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house. Can you explain why you did that after we had been together 10 years? But why did you lie initially in your initial lawsuit to get $30 million? Why did you paint it as this, and this? Because this is what brought the Rico upon him. This is looking like Cassie might be a mastermind. Let's keep going. I don't know. Y'all dropping in the comments. Let me know how that sound to y'all.
Excuse me? That's not a good excuse to me, bro. My girlfriend tells me, hey, bro, the reason why, me and this dude slept together, even though we're dating and we're supposed to be committed to each other, is because, bro, I did it him for 10 years, but what do you expect? The worst part about all of this, bro, is this dude, Alex, actually stayed with Cassie, bro. Now, listen, this was before the $30 million, by the way. So he was staying just strictly out of what, love? Man, cut it out. Bro, ain't no way you telling me, bro, you loving a woman, bro, who has cheated on you multiple times. And now she's telling the world about it. Yo, you know the worst part about all of this, bro, is, Cassie testified that one of the times that Diddy was digging in her guts, clapping her cheeks, going cam on her, bro. One of the times that she was cheating on Alex with Diddy, Alex was FaceTiming her, bro. Oh, my God, bro. Alex was FaceTiming her.
Oh, Lord.
Her cheeks ran through. And then, she testified that when
have?
Alex found out, he punched a hole in the wall. That's how devastated he was. I'm not under this notion that Diddy is a good guy. I'm not under the notion that
Oh,
Diddy is a good. No, Diddy is.
so you was getting your cheeks clapped by Diddy on multiple occasions. You still was getting your cheeks clapped after you said he raped you, and you lied and said you never talked to him again. So you lied for Alex. You lied for the $30 million, and your husband FaceTimed you while you were getting your cheeks clapped. Oh, this is nasty, Cassie. This is nasty.
Diddy is one of Satan's greatest spawns. Diddy is terrible, right? There will be stories and books written about how horrific and terrible and horrible of a human being Diddy is. But if you're telling me, Poetic Flacco, all right, that I gotta look and read these entire transcripts, I gotta look at this case, and you mean to tell me that I have to read what Cassie has been saying, look at what Cassie has done, what Cassie has wrote, look at the messages of her asking for the FOs, the freak offs, and I should come to the conclusion that Diddy was trafficking her? Cut it out, bro. Cassie was a willing participant in all the sexual rendezvous they were engaged in. Now, do I believe that Diddy put his hands on her? Yes. Do I believe that Diddy deserved to go to jail? Yes. But Cassie never called the police, and the statute of limitation is over with. But if you mean to ask me, bro, that I'm reading this, that I'm reading her go back to this man while having a boyfriend that was loving and caring and giving her everything,
Crazy.
that what I'm supposed to think that Diddy was forcing her to engage in his rendezvous when she was telling these people, this is my birthday present. Man, cut it out, bro. Cut it out, man. And somehow Cassie has managed to turn every man she talked to into a cuck. Ain't that crazy? She turned Kid Cudi into a cuck. She turned the NFL player into a cuck. She turned her husband, Alex Fine, into a cuck.
Yeah, and this is the wild part. I mean, there's no excuse for her saying in her $30 million lawsuit he raped her and she never spoke to him again. But now it's coming out that there's holes in the grape story. And then you hit him up multiple times after the fact, asking to kick it with him and asking to be with him. And you got your cheeks clapped multiple times with your husband trying to FaceTime you. This looks ugly for Cassie. Drop it in the comments. I'm still for the victims, but we got to point out the facts. Everything I just pointed out were facts that came out in court. I'm not siding with either side. I'm just looking at the facts and saying that's what happened in court. Let me know how y'all feel about this, how y'all looking at the Cassie situation, how y'all looking at the Diddy situation. Drop it in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel. It's your boy, What's Up, G. Stay out of these situations. Hey, if you got a chance to make a deal with the devil, you might want to say no. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all.